if you want to get a ticket, it's fine. Just use the link below. See liveaboard operators, we've got resorts, we've got some really nice conservationists coming along to talk about turtles, whale sharks, talking about sharks in general, and manufacturers such as Fourth Element. Every exhibitor, even the speakers, they have special offers.
But also a free to enter prize draw, or is that automatic entry?
Hi, it's Craig from the Dive Line. Over here we have the fridge. Welcome, Jim. And also we have Jason Heselden from Scuba.Digital with us today. We're going to talk about Scuba.Digital and the Dive Line's involvement as media partners, something that Jim and I are really, really excited about. Before we do that, Jason, tell everyone a little bit about you.
My name's Jason Hazelden. I've been diving since I left the Royal Air Force in 1996. I left on a trip for 2 months to go to the Far East, to Thailand and to Bali and Indonesia. And during that time, I went to Koh Tao, where I did my open water certificate off Sairee Beach, lovely little beach in the middle of nowhere. It's fantastic. I did my qualification there, and then I returned actually after only doing a few dives, and I returned to the UK, where I actually didn't dive again for another 5 years. By that time, I was with my partner, and we went off for another trip to the Far East together. And during that trip, we went to a place called Perhentians, just northeast coast of Malaysia, just south of Thailand. I did my advanced course and I got the bug again. I was absolutely hooked again. So we went back up to Thailand. We went back to Koh Tao, and I did all the courses up to dive master. Didn't want to become an instructor. I've been a trainer before and didn't want to be an instructor at all. So we did everything up to dive master. And it was during that time that I met a friend of mine called Boris. He and I did our dive master together, including the equipment exchange, which is a whole nother story. But we did that together, and we were friends for a long time. During that year, we traveled quite a bit together, and we effectively, we dreamed quite a lot. We thought about running a diving business of some kind. We talked about owning a liveaboard or doing a liveaboard boat out to trips from the other side of Thailand, actually. And some form of scuba-related business at the time, but it just never came off.
So when you got back to the UK then, you obviously did set up a diving-related business. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I came back to the UK. I was working, but at the same time, I organised trips for, groups of people, for 12, 15, 20 people going on trips to the Far East. We were going to Thailand, we were going to Indonesia. We did some to the Philippines and Truk Lagoon. So effectively, I was organising group trips for people, primarily land-based. And they were really good, but they didn't make any money. It was good enough for me to go out and have a bit of free diving and free holiday, as it were.
Very nice.
Clearly not going to survive in a business just by getting a few diving trips. So what did you do next?
Well, I moved, is the first thing. I moved down to South Coast to Swanage with my partner. For various reasons, we opened up a shop selling goods that we'd bought from Bali. We'd imported them from Bali. And at the same time, I was organising trips still. So we started organising more trips going on liveaboards. So we went to the Red Sea. We did liveaboard trips out of Indonesia, in Bali and Indonesia, going up to Komodo and that sort of thing. And essentially, I just sort of did those trips and helped other people organise their trips. So I would get them discounted prices, and I would just send them off on their own. So that's how that one went out. But for various reasons, the shop shut down, and we bought a house and started a bed and breakfast. Bit of a leap from a shop to a bed and breakfast, but that's what we did. And it was while I was doing that I started to think about booking systems for bed and breakfasts. And of course, that led me to think about booking systems for diving related business, primarily liveaboards. Around 2010, Boris, myself and my partner and Boris's brother, Stefan, we all got together and we created something called Scuba.Click. Okay, and Scuba.Click is a liveaboard management system for liveaboards. So, we're 10 years down the line and it's still not finished. We're learning a lot. Okay. And part of that was we were out in Orlando at DEMA last year in 2019. And and not at the show at all, just sat in the hotel. And Stefan came up with a piece of software and said, this looks great. It's a piece of software that you could do online shows, online events. It was a bit rough and ready at the time, but we'd always talked about putting on some form of diving related online event, because we'd got fed up of traveling to dive shows, spending the money on hotels and all the other bits and pieces, like every other punter does. You travel, you spend the money, you got the expenses of parking and all those things. And so we thought about this in advance. And so Stefan bought this piece of software. And then we returned to the UK and we forgot entirely about it until COVID struck.
COVID, it stopped everything, didn't it? Obviously, gatherings of all kinds. So I guess this is why it manifested then. Scuba.Digital was the online platform. You don't have to gather with so many people. Is that just the reason behind it? Essentially,
yes. Effectively, what we did, we saw loads and loads of dive shows being cancelled. DEMA was cancelled, but Boot wasn't cancelled, but there was a load of others over in the Far East, around Europe, all these dive shows being cancelled. And we thought, well, we can do something about this. We can actually do something rather than just sit and talk about how bad it is and this is that. Let's do something about it. Try and help the industry, try and help the general public, the diving public, get to something to understand what's going on. And so we decided to put on Scuba.Digital. So yeah, that's where it came about.
It seems that the industry has been really supportive, Jason. I understand that you've got something like 150 plus exhibitors attending the show already.
Yeah, we've got over 150 different exhibitors at the moment, and I'm still getting inquiries coming through at the moment. I've just had one through from the Solomon Islands tourist industry. So, we've got one from there. We've got people from the Cayman Islands. We've got people from the South Pacific, Australia, Indonesia, the whole lot. There's people from around the world taking part in this, including a lot of people that are, obviously liveaboard operators. We've got resorts, we've got conservationists. We've got some really nice conservationists coming along to talk about turtles, whale sharks, talking about sharks in general. So we've got lots of that coming on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. It's a great idea because everyone's missing diving, aren't they? And the dive shows. I mean, I do actually like going to dive shows, and like the Go Diving show that goes on every year that's run by Mark Evans. I love going to that and meeting with people. But if I can't do that, then I love speaking to people about diving. So I think this is a brilliant idea.
The intention of the show is to connect the general public with the service providers so that they can find out more about the future of diving around the world. The exhibitors have had great strides. They've made some great strides to combat COVID. They've put in protection measures, changed terms and conditions of booking to make it easier for divers to visit them wherever they are. Thing is, with so many countries affected and so many diving services affected, there are literally hundreds of variations of what is being done for what service. And the only way to find out about the destination or service you want to go to is to ask the dive shop or the liveaboard or the resort directly. Speak to them in person. That's what Scuba.Digital enables the diving public to do. And they can do it from the front room, their office, wherever they like. I happen to be sat in a caravan. But that's, they can do this from wherever they want. You don't have to travel to a venue. You don't have to pay for parking. You pay for your ticket and then pay for exorbitant priced food and drink. At Scuba.Digital, you pay for one low price ticket, and that's it. You get access to the full 3 days and nights as the show doesn't sleep. It means basically that you can come in and out of it whenever you want to. You can come in after you finish work or in the middle of the night if you wake up. It doesn't matter. You can come in and out of it as when you see fit. You can view live presentations from exhibitors and speakers from around the world, covering technical diving, free diving, wrecks, corals and pelagics, as well as a lot more. There's destination information from amazing Australia, Magic Maldives, the Red Sea, Caribbean, Cayman and Curaçao, liveaboards from Aggressor, Emperor and Explorer fleets, as well as many more. We've got 25 odd different liveaboard organisations. The resorts from the Maldives, the Caribbean and manufacturers such as Fourth Element.
So, and each one of those has got a special offer on, hasn't they? Haven't they is the word.
Yes. Every exhibitor, even the speakers, they usually have an expo booth within the show. And within that, they have special offers. So some of them are giving 10% off, 20% off. Maybe it's free nitrox and something else. It may actually be only just some free information from the conservation people on how you can help out and what you can do.
But also a free to enter prize draw, or is that automatic entry, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody getting a ticket for Scuba.Digital is entered into the prize draw. We have a number of sponsors who've donated a load of prizes, and these are, for example, a prize of 1 free place and 1 at 50% off any liveaboard trip in Indonesia with MV Oceanic. Wow. That's a great prize. It's worth a few £1,000s, several $1,000s. Simply have to just turn up to the dive show and get your ticket. When you've got your ticket, you actually just attend the actual draw. If your name's called and you're there to receive it, which is the key, you have to be there to receive it, then you'll be drawn and you'll win the prize. That
sounds fantastic. We're really pleased to be involved with you guys as a sort of media partner. Just from a customer point of view, can you tell us how it's all going to work? So do they log into the Scuba.Digital website and click on the person they want to speak to? Just tell us a little bit more about how it's going to work, really. Yeah, really simply, you basically go along, you buy a ticket, and you register on the platform. Now, you guys have got a ticket link below, I believe, so you can have a look at that one, and it will follow through to the relevant platform website. You'll see a place where you can buy the ticket, you register, and then you've got information about the schedule of what's going on, which isn't complete, by the way. It's being added to all the time. So we've got that. We've got a list of expo areas. We've got a list of the sponsors that are there, which are going on. You can take part in the networking, which is really quite fun. So you can go into the networking area, and you are randomly connected with somebody else that's in the networking area. They could be halfway around the world. It could be next door. But you can come along and have a chat for 3 or 4 minutes. And if you want to, you can make contact. Now, I know for a fact that some of the exhibitors are also going to be browsing that area. Okay, so great, Jason. This is the first of its kind, isn't it? Scuba.Digital is the first show that we've done. It's going to be different to what other people put on as live shows on the internet. This is genuinely live. The people will be doing presentations live. You will be able to interact with those presentations. You can be brought onto the screen with those presenters after they've done their bit to actually ask questions and understand more about that subject. So you can actually participate. It's not a pre-recorded load of videos. So yeah, it's live. It's the first one. We'll think about doing the next one next year once this one's out of the way. But we really want to provide something for the community now.
Jim and I and the Dive Line team are really excited to be involved in a brand new project like this. We're going to be interviewing as many of the exhibitors that you have as we can, and putting up some short videos to help introduce those exhibitors to the general public. And we're really excited. We can't wait to be logged on for 3 days and be talking to people.
It's great. And we're really pleased to have you on board and to be working with us. It's great. Thank you.
So it just remains to say, how do, other than the link that we've got down in the bottom in the comments, how do people get hold of you and get involved in it?
If you want to get a ticket, it's fine. Just use the link below to get the ticket to Scuba.Digital, or you can go to our website, Scuba.Digital, and you'll be able to get a ticket via there. If you're an exhibitor or a sponsor, or if you want to be a speaker at the show, you can also contact us via our website. And we've got links on there to make appointments to speak to Dee, and we'll have a chat and we'll take it from there.
And that is Scuba.Digital.
Indeed.
Excellent. So thank you, Jason. Thanks for joining us and telling us a little bit about the show. Like Craig said, we're really pleased to be involved with it, and we'll put these exhibitor spotlights up soon.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
See you all soon.